Hi, this is Tom Brunstetter from PM Magazine. Tom, what do you do here at PM Magazine?
I'm a videographer for PM, and I've been working for them about 2.5 years.
How'd you get the job as videographer?
Well, I got it right out of college. I started out as an intern, like most people do, and the internship program is a really good program to have. It gave me a lot of freedom to do shooting. I was a shooter in college. I was working for several production companies, and so I had experience behind me as a shooter editor. So when I came into the PM situation, they saw this little intern running around doing underwater video and doing all these other crazy things in acrobatic planes, and they said, wait a minute, this isn't your typical intern. So they looked at me, and then they hired me part-time, and then they hired me full-time in a position.
In college, you majored in communications?
Broadcast journalism and film.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Here we show Tom giving the Killian form a few pointers.
Shall we mic Katrina? Once you gotta
Bring maybe a little reflector with you. Make a little board about this big and put tin foil over it. We have one in the van I can show you. And someone would stand here like this and hit the sun and fill in her face. Because if you can see, go ahead and point to her face. You can't see her eyes.
Right.
And there's heavy, and she's also wearing white, which is bad. So your talent shouldn't wear light colors. Now, the gain around, you don't have a light background. You have a dark background, and the sun will just be hitting the top of her head. Since she has dark hair, it's really no problem. And you want to shoot right next to the talent as possible when you just want straight on. You just want them looking just a little bit off camera. You don't want to be over here and getting a profile, and you want to be right here. So when you do re-ask, you know about the line, special line, it's a 180-degree rule. If you shoot the re-ask of her, you shouldn't shoot from this side, because when you edit together, they'll look like they're on the same side. It's called a plane. It's an imaginary plane, and it's a board. It's just, say, a line that goes through here. So if you're on this side of her, you want to stay on this side the whole time. So you want to come right over here and you'll be looking at her.
Here we show Kyle Campbell, the field producer, showing the sound man what she actually wants.
Campbell, a field producer for PM Magazine. How was the initial concept of PM Magazine developed?
Started out in San Francisco at one particular station, and it grew to the other Westinghouse stations. The one in San Francisco originally is Westinghouse. And the idea became so popular, it started being sold to other stations other than Westinghouse, and I think now we have, over 90 PM magazines in the country.
And they all have different hosts and different
co-hosts, different producers. The only thing we share is, the national stories, and we do get the same animation and everything else. But it's a cooperative.
What is your shooting schedule?
It differs. I am a story producer as well as the ins and outs producer. We are on a ins and outs rotation. There are 4 field producers that every 2 weeks we do ins and outs. The other weeks we produce stories. So it really depends on what you have up on the board and what you can you fit in your schedule to do.
How far in advance are the segments shot?
It depends. I have a story that was shot in the summer and it hasn't aired yet. So, and the ins and outs they are usually shot about a week to 2 weeks in advance before air. We try to keep them as fresh as possible.
That's what we did here today. The transitions and everything.
The ins and outs, right.
All right, thank you.
But it's a neat story, though. It's kind of...
It won't be long because you'll know it.
Yeah.
You won't have to memorize it.
Okay, this is take 1 on the F3N and tease to break.
Correct.
In 3, 2, 1. Carol is used to being first. She was one of the first women to enter Princeton University, and she was the first licensed truck driver in the state of Washington.
Next, some men who are first in line when it comes to making heavenly chocolates, that is.
Not sure of how you did it, because you got to make sure that you didn't strain something and bleed the blood vessels. Okay, this is take 2 in 3, 2, 1. Carol is used to being first. She was one of the first women to enter Princeton University, and she was the first woman licensed truck driver in the state of Washington.
Okay, now next up, some men who are first in line when it comes to making heavenly chocolates, that is.
Yes, on this trip a great deal was learned by the Killian Forum from PM Magazine.